All right, Shalom, 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 Israel. All right, Hezekiah, one another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekakadash. I want to give double honor to the elders and apostles of the house of David, who's been ruling well through the spirit for decades and decades. And Shalom to the hopeful elect that's scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, right? It's going to be a quick, I wouldn't even want to call it a lesson, but exhortation. To me, to brothers, and today's exhortation is control your lust. Right? We have to control our lust, because lust, our fleshly desires, right, it's going to get us jammed up, right? Get you caught up in all type of lasciviousness, right? Get you caught in a lot of sexual sin, sins worthy of death, like adultery, things of that sort, right? So let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 18, and verse number 30, man, right? Sirach 18, verse 30. It say, "Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thy appetites." Right? So don't go after your lust, your fleshly desires, things that might look right to you, things that might be pleasing to you. Hey, it goes against the law, statute, and commandments. Right? So you don't want to be that brother, you don't want to be that sister that's constantly in the lust of their flesh. Right? Dealing with the, corn, things of that sort, that's going to get you out the spirit. And that goes, like I said, man, it always goes, I apply these lessons, these exhortations, man, to myself, right? Because we all deal with some type of lust, form of lust, and they ain't always sexual, right? It can be, you might be addicted to money, right? You might be addicted to drugs, right? There's certain things that you might be addicted to that could be counted as lust, right? So we have to understand these things. So they say, go not after thy lust, right? When you refrain yourself, when you deny yourself, hey, you are saving your life, right? It say, he that sin against the Most High, right? You sinning against your own soul. You destroying your own soul, right? So understand these things, control yourself, right? You have to be able to control yourself, rule your spirit, right? And I did a lesson not too long ago on that, on ruling your spirit, right? Like I said, this ain't gonna be long. This is exhortation, and I know it's hard. It's hard, right? These things are hard, and nobody never said it was easy. But you have to fight. If you have to fight the good fight, that secondary to chapter 7 and 57 on down, say, man. Right? This is our daily battle. We never stop fighting. We always go to war with our flesh, right? And if the spirit and the flesh are always condescending to each other, man. Right? So you're going to deal with that. And knowing that, you're supposed to be ready at all times. Right? And I'm going to get this. Book of James, chapter 1, verse 2. All right, and we go. This is how we go kick this off, man. I'm gonna make this a little short, serious. This exhortating the nation, man. Exhortating myself, man. Always give yourself exhortation, right? Always do that. Don't worry. It's good to get everybody else exhortation, but you got to get yourself exhortation as well. You got to build up yourself, right? If you ain't built up, hey, the rest. It doesn't matter, right? I believe it's Sirach. Let's get that before we bring this out. Sirach chapter. Yeah, here we go. Sirach chapter 37, verse 19. It say, "There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself." Right. So you might know the precepts, you might know the breakdowns. You might have all the exhortation, right, the advice, things that of that sort that you might get to the nation. But hey, you yourself, you don't even apply it. You don't apply nothing that you know. You don't apply the precepts, right? But you only want to apply it when it's dealing with somebody else. No, you have to apply the precepts to yourself, man, right? Because you can teach a lot of people, but to your own self, you was unprofitable, right? And if you're unprofitable to yourself, man, none of it matters, man. Because you supposed to be that example. When you tell somebody they going off, you shouldn't be doing it too, right? When you give exhortation, you should be getting exhortation for yourself. You should constantly, as 2 Corinthians 13:5, constantly examining yourself, right? So they say there is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself, right? So let's go back to the book of James, chapter 1, verse number 2. It say, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into divers temptations, knowing that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Right? At the end of the day, we know all this is the trying of your faith. You're going to go through things, right? So Sirach 2:1 say, if thou come serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Right? The temptation is intimate. I mean, not intimate. It is bound to happen, right? And it was a clear warning that Sirach gave us, man. When you come and serve the Lord, Yahweh, you are going to go through temptation. And knowing that, we're supposed to be constantly putting on the armor of Yahweh Shemiel Shah, daily, fighting off the flesh, And we all going to go off. I go off, brothers go off, but you can't constantly fall into the same sin, man. You gotta, at some point, you have to fight. A just man, a just man do fall 7 times, right? But it said, but brothers and sisters don't read that second part of it. But it said, but the wicked will fall into mischief. When you constantly going to be in the same sin, constantly going to keep going off, and you constantly not going to fight them sins off. It says second Esdras, I believe second Esdras 16:76 on down. It tells us that don't let your sins weigh you down. And don't let your iniquities lift up themselves. What do it mean, let your iniquities lift up themselves? You constantly sinning, willfully sinning, man. You know something is off, you know something is wrong, and you do it anyway. Hey, that's willfully sinning, right? I'm gonna close out with this. This is James chapter 1, verse 12. It say, blessed is the man that endureth temptation. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life. What is the crown of life? The kingdom of heaven. Everlasting life. Right? To be able to rule in the kingdom of heaven. Right? Which Yahweh had promised to them that love him. And how you love Yahweh by Shem Yahushua? Right? By keeping his commandments, as 1 John chapter 5, verse 3 say. Right? So, fight. Fight the good fight of faith, man. You got to fight. So I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem, Rekakadash. Shalom.